So there's a lot going on in Trump's White House right now. A lot of chaos. And it all kind of stems, I think, from a breakup. There's an issue going on. I don't want to alert anybody, and I think Melania is safe. I think Trump is fine with her, but it's his other lover, his mistress, that of Fox News. If you've been following Trump at all on Twitter, he has shown some real distaste for Fox News, going as far as to say, watching Fox News on a Saturday afternoon is just a waste of time. Let me just input this. If you're watching any cable network news on Saturday at 4 p.m., it's a waste of fucking time. Get a life. But he was definitely talking, too, about how Chris Wallace is a piece of garbage and he wishes he was his dad, Mike Wallace, and blaming Fox News for not being what they were, that they're a completely new, different situation here. And to Fox News' credit, some of their hosts came and said, no, Chris Wallace is a really good dude. He has a lot of integrity, blah, 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 blah. But there was one network that Donald Trump had brought up multiple times, and it was OAN, saying, well, at least we have an option, OAN. OAN has taken a lot of attention away from Fox lately, going as far as even somebody like John Oliver reported about OAN. I saw this like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, who is this? Lo and behold, I'm seeing the name OAN a lot more than I was. So, what this all comes down to, though, was a story that was featured on OAN about a politician who had ran against Nancy Pelosi in California. Now, her claim was that Fauci had blamed Donald Trump for the coronavirus being as bad as it is. That during an interview that he had said, well, if we would have acted quicker, we would have had time to get infrastructure in place. We would have time for better equipment, better PPE. We would have more channels available for states to share information as well as equipment. We could kind of have a stockpile. We could have maybe prematurely, sheltered in place to stop the spread and blah, 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 blah. Well, and look, he's right, by the way. But then she says, yes, but Fauci lied to us first. And she posted a clip of Fauci on Good Morning America, I believe on February 8th, I believe. It might have been February 8th or the 2nd. I'm not sure exactly on the date. But in that interview with Good Morning America, Dr. Fauci does say it's not time to do anything yet. This will not affect the American public yet. She completely omits the yet part, as many of the right wing have. And they started this whole hashtag fire Fauci. They want Fauci out. He's blaming our dear leader, and he lied. We're now gonna, and I feel really bad for Fauci because he's in this situation where the gun has just been turned to him. They're looking for someone to blame, and just like in every mobster movie, if you've ever hung out with athletes before, the star athlete is never going to be the one in trouble. There's always going to be that dope who's holding the gun. And I think Fauci's looking around, realizing that no one else has a gun in their hand. He's the target now. Now, luckily, that's just on the right wing. And the right wing's going to blame Fauci. Everyone else is going to kind of blame Trump. Anyone with half a brain is going to say, look, this was shit. We're in a bad situation. And I think that's the way that it should be handled and looked at. Regardless, this whole fire Fauci thing that Donald Trump later retweeted has blown up and gotten bigger in the last 12 to 24 hours. Where Donald Trump actually, for his press conference today, made a video of him showing how he handled the coronavirus. And obviously it was done in positive light, trying to make him look really good. Then, when asked about the timeline of certain comments, asked about certain things he said, Donald Trump lashed out at the media. Donald Trump this evening showed some real scary signs of somebody in power. And he made the comment that when you're the president, you have total control. Now, look, if you're on the right wing and you're a Trump supporter, this is where you leave. This is where you say, whoa, whoa, what? No, no president has total control. We don't have a dictatorship. We're a federalist country, essentially. States have power. That's what you guys want. How can he claim that he has total control? How can he just undermine the federalist aspect of our country? But he does, and he said just that. He, in fact, said that he's going to bring up paperwork. He said, not that I need to, but I'm going to show you guys paperwork showing that I have total power. I guarantee you, I would bet you, I would bet you my most expensive Funko Pop that he's not going to bring out any paperwork, because there is none. There is absolutely nothing that says that he has total power. But what we are seeing is a delusional madman slipping into this state of anguish, stress, and losing the grip on the very limited knowledge he has of our federal government and the coronavirus. It's incredibly disturbing to watch this, especially when, honestly, in most situations, Donald Trump just makes things worse for himself. I believe that Donald Trump screwed us up. I believe that Donald Trump should have been more on top of things. And I believe that Dr. Fauci was saying just that. Now, Dr. Fauci has walked his comments back and said, no, this was a hypothetical. They asked me a hypothetical question, and I said, look, if we would have gotten started earlier, we would have been more prepared. And look, that's for any situation, and that's 100% fair. Whether he was hypothetical or just saving his ass, I have no idea. But the reality is Donald Trump could easily, and even someone like me would agree, if he just moved into it and said, yeah, look, I acted too late, guys. I'll be honest. And then say, you know who else did too? Every other country in the world. South Korea had acted so late that they wanted to impeach their president for his inaction with COVID-19. Joe Biden, the savior on the left, what was he doing during this time, this early time when we were supposed to be preparing? What knowledge would he have sprung forth that would have saved America? He just called Trump's banning Chinese people from entering our country racist. That's what he did. He said travel bans are racist. And that's not exactly even true. The travel ban that Trump had was actually for only foreign dignitaries, and they had to be tested, and the tests were spotty at best. Not the point. While Trump at least did one thing, Biden was bashing that one thing. And let's move forward as we look at what's happened since the coronavirus outbreak has gotten worse. Donald Trump has laid out this statement of things that he wants to get done. And look, I 100% accept the fact that he is sitting at a big boy table and there are other adults helping him come up with this plan. Nevertheless, if he moved into this and said, like, I'm taking some responsibility for it, I should have acted quicker, I'm moving into that. It would not give Joe Biden some sort of lead or push, because what has Joe Biden actually been advocating for? The exact same shit Trump has said. Joe Biden has not had one original idea. In fact, everything he says, he's saying it after Trump. Like, he's literally like the dumb kid in class, copying off the moronic kid in class. There is no leaders. The deep state is handling all of this, and honestly, they're doing a pretty goddamn good job. Things could definitely be better, and they need to be better. But right now, it's fairly well contained. And we all just need to keep doing our part and being careful, social distancing. Get the fuck out of my bubble anyway. I don't want you breathing on me as is. That kind of mentality, we keep up. We do good. We're doing fine. But Donald Trump has allowed himself to fall down this spiral, turning him into a fascist, into a dictator, claiming total control over America because he was criticized? I mean, it literally is the example of taking your ball and going home. Well, we're not going to play politics nice, then I'm leaving. No, I'm not leaving. I'm kicking you out. I'm taking over now. Uh, I'm not a Donald Trump supporter at all, and I talk more shit I think on Biden and the Democrats than I do on Trump. No, namely just because like everyone else talks shit on Trump. Like there's at some point you're just punching a crippled old lady. You know what I mean? Like it's not even a fight. But so often Trump does these things where if he would just man up and show some testicular fortitude. By the way, manning up is not denying you did something. It's not out alphaing somebody. Being a man is taking responsibility for your actions. At least that's what we teach our children, our sons at least, and daughters, everybody. Yeah, the whole idea. As I'm trying to be woke here. Show some responsibility for your actions. If he just did that, we would have a lot more respect for him. In fact, we'd be like, shit, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll vote for Trump this time. He at least seems to acknowledge his wrongdoings. Unlike Biden, who doesn't know where he is and just molested a woman. Yeah, maybe I'll go Trump. But he can't do that. And ultimately, with the two stories I've covered today, this is where we're at politically. When you think to yourself, we're as good as we need to get, this is the greatest country on earth, blah, 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 blah. Think about where we're at right the fuck right now. Our two options are a guy who gets emotionally damaged by people criticizing his job. By the way, Trump, that's the way we all live in America, okay? Our boss is always on our ass. And I'm sorry, but we're your fucking boss and you're doing a fucked up job. He can't handle it. He gets criticized, and that thin-skinned little pussy has to turn dictator and say, "Oh, you want to use words against me? You want to criticize me? But I've got bombs. I'm controlling everything." That's his whole take. And then we have Joe Biden, who, yes, he is medically unfit to run this country. Not to mention all the other problems he has, and he has a lot. Aside from the big one being that he is basically just a representative for Wall Street. He's never represented the American people. If you work for Goldman Sachs, then yeah, that's your guy. Oh, hey, it's the senator from Citibank. That's where we're at in America. Don't ever tell me this is the greatest country in the world. Because this is where we're at. And we need to fucking fix it. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. You have a good evening.